What's driving the growth of Bitcoin? It is the most powerful force in the world right now. It's growing nearly 60%. It's become the eighth largest asset in the world. It's about to become the largest asset in the world in the next 48 months.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a good weekend. We just got a tweet from Saylor. He's saying no tariffs on orange dots. So this means that Strategy has been buying Bitcoin over the past week. We'll see how much tomorrow. Every Monday they come out and release and talk about how much Bitcoin they've bought over the past week. So update tomorrow. We'll let you guys know how much Bitcoin Saylor ends up buying. Just to look at the most actively traded stocks from Friday, Strategy came in at top 10, traded $6.4 billion of volume on Friday. Definitely good to see there. And then I wanted to do a little bit of a prediction on where Strategy will open on Monday. So if we look at where Bitcoin closed on Friday and we look at how much it's up since then, we're actually up 4.51% since the close on Friday for BTC. Obviously that can change by the Monday open, and we know we have a MNAF premium right now of around 2x for Strategy. And Strategy, if it was to go up 2x, it was up 4.5%. So if it goes up 2x of that, we're going to see it open 9% up to the upside. So that would put Strategy somewhere around 330 for a stock price on Monday at the open, up around 9%. That's if we get 2x NAV, and the 4.5% Bitcoin, what is up right now, stays up the same amount. So that's where we could see it open. So if I had to guess, it would be around 325 to 335 for Strategy on the open on Monday. But let me know what you guys think. How much Bitcoin do you think Strategy bought? Put that in the comment section below. And where do you think Strategy is going to open on Monday? Leave your guesses in the comment section below. And then to get into some Bitcoin updates here, this is the Bitcoin total OTC desk balance. So this is where Strategy, all these corporate companies are actually buying their Bitcoin. They're not going to the spot markets and then just doing market buys. If that was to happen, we'd probably see just massive moves for Bitcoin when Strategy went to market, but that's not what they're doing. They're buying from OTC desks. And you can see the OTC desks are losing a lot of Bitcoin. I mean, they have less than 200,000 Bitcoin left. So put that in perspective. If these OTC desks lose all the Bitcoin, where are all these corporate companies gonna go and buy the BTC once the OTC desks have been exhausted? That is something to think about, and I'm not sure if they could just easily replenish their OTC desk balance, but that's just something to think about. We could have a huge supply shock over the next couple of years if we continue to see the buys from Strategy, if the ETFs continue to buy Bitcoin, and all the other corporate companies that are looking to buy Bitcoin. And we also have states now in the US that are looking to buy Bitcoin, countries that are looking to buy Bitcoin, put it on a reserve. So not much BTC left. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens to the price if these OTC desks go to zero. And then from Michael Sullivan, he's saying, fact one, the MSTR strategy turns volatility into vitality. Fact two, before Bitcoin, they traded with an implied volatility of around 40%. Today, it's 90%. Fact three, GameStop likely just purchased 19,000 Bitcoin. Fact four, GME didn't just have a high IV back in 2021. It hit 400% this year because of a tweet. So I want to mention GME here. Their strategy could be completely different than what MSTR is doing. So with MSTR, strategy comes out every week. Michael Saylor announces, hey, we bought this much Bitcoin. We accumulated this much Bitcoin. This is our Bitcoin yield. GameStop might not do that. They might wait till their quarterly earnings to release how much Bitcoin they have bought over the previous quarter. So we could get a huge spike in GME's price if they wait until their next quarterly earnings to talk about how much Bitcoin they bought. So if Bitcoin has a good the next couple of months, for example, we've been looking at this chart here, global M2 money supply. It's looking like we have a late May Blastoff for Bitcoin. If we go up to $144,000 over the next couple of months, if Bitcoin performs that well, Strategy is obviously going to perform well. But if GameStop doesn't perform as well as Strategy because they haven't announced their Bitcoin buys, when their earnings call actually happens, which I think is scheduled right now for the first week in June, they will announce all their Bitcoin holdings, and that could lead to a massive rise very quickly in the stock price after their earnings call, because they would have been buying Bitcoin at lower prices if we see Bitcoin make a move like this over the next couple months. So that is something to think about and pay attention to. You may want to do some call options, not financial advice, obviously, if GameStop doesn't announce their Bitcoin buys every week and they're going to do it quarterly. And there are other companies that do it quarterly. For example, Block Square with Jack Dorsey, they announce all their Bitcoin buys quarterly. They're not announcing them every single week. So I don't think they have an obligation to announce their Bitcoin buys every week or anything like that. I think Strategy just does that, and some of these other companies have kind of just followed what Michael Saylor's been doing. But I don't think they have any obligation to do that as well. And then Tether's another company that always announces their Bitcoin buys after, every quarter. So that's just some food for thought there. That's really all I had for today's video. Not a lot of news out there in the market here over the weekend. Let me know what you guys want to see in upcoming videos. Do you want us to talk more about the fixed income products, STRK, STRF? Do you want to hear more about MSTY? Let me know what you guys want to hear more about. Put it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching all the way to the end. I do have a clip here from Cynthia Loomis I don't play for you guys. Let's go ahead and check it out, and I'll catch you guys in the next.
The fact that a tool's been identified that if you buy 200,000 Bitcoin a year for 5 years for a total of 1 million Bitcoin, which is 5% of the world's supply, hold on to it for 20 years. And with some of the best modeling available, it shows that it would cut our national debt in half. That's a game changer. So if you were to couple that with a Congress that's more committed to getting to the point where we match our revenues and our expenditures, we can retire this debt. It's the only vehicle I have ever found that will
of capital are flowing into the network. It's going to go from 2 billion to 20 billion to 200 billion to 2 trillion to 20 trillion to 200 trillion. And when it gets to 200 trillion, it'll chop along at plus 20% to eventually 300, 400, 500 trillion dollars. And where is that capital going to come from? It's going to come from Russian real estate. It's going to come from Chinese private equity. It's going to come from everything in Africa, everything in South America. You have capital flowing from foreign financial and physical assets to Bitcoin. You have capital flowing from 20th century assets to Bitcoin. Capital is going to flow from the 20th century to the 21st century. It's going to flow from physical to digital. It's going to flow from currency-based derivatives to a digital commodity derivative. So it's already happening. It's unstoppable. It's literally like, for me to say Bitcoin's going to demonetize gold understates it. Yeah, it's going to demonetize gold. Then it's going to demonetize the real estate that's 10x more than gold. Then it's going to demonetize every long-term store of value. So what you have is a situation like the Europeans show up and they give like some Dutch guilders or some pieces of paper or some glass beads or seashells or stone coins to people using a more primitive form of money. And we have the opportunity to, in essence, just grab 10, 20, 25% of the network, let the entire dynamic flow, and it's going to accelerate. And when the dust settles, the American people will own 25, 30% of that capital, which right now is sitting in 20th century